Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our I can't talk today, of our paintings with a hand-over-hand method, and then I paint the rest. He's gotten to the point where he's actually doing so much more of the paintings, and so it's more of the backgrounds, and then we'll go back and smooth everything out. But he's really doing a lot more, and it makes this mama happy. So here we are, the reason for the season. I still cannot get the right light shining in the right areas. I have so much shadows. Maybe that will help what I just did. I'm not sure. So we shall see, as they say. Nope, still lots of shadows. Maybe I need to... I used to have my desk in a different location, and I don't feel like there was as many shadows when I was painting. And so I need to work on that. It'll be kind of like how I have not redone any of my paints since months ago. But if you're new to the page, I've been dealing with breast cancer and a few other things, so I'm trying to cut myself slack, even though I give myself constantly a hard time about being so, like, I don't even know what the right term is, slow to getting myself back on track with where my paints are and getting rid of my old paints, because I can't tell you how many times I've picked this bottle up and there's nothing in it, and yet it still sits on my it still sits right here on my table. But it'll happen one day. All of my organizational skills will masterfully somehow become amazing, and then I'll do it. When I was growing up, my best friend, and we're still friends, she lives in another state, otherwise I would get her here more often, but she would come over to my house, and she loved organizing and cleaning and putting stuff away. And so I would love when she would come because she would just make everything exactly where it needed to be, and I could then call her when I couldn't find something, and she would know exactly where everything was. So I miss her for a million reasons, but I always laugh when I know that I'm not the most organized person, and she always was. So that's what I think about when I can still remember the conversations I would have with her. Where did you put my this, my shoes, my that? And she would know right away that it was wherever it was. See, too many shadows. Too many shadows. So I must move my stuff. That's what I must move. But like I said, we'll get there when the time is right. Can't keep progress down unless you don't make the progress, right? So if you're new to my channel, you'll notice a lot of times, especially when I'm painting flowers, I don't change my brush a lot. I use the bigger brush for the cross, but generally when I'm painting the flowers, I just use the one brush because I love having all of the colors kind of, now I have to go way up here and you probably can't see it then without the light. I love having all the colors kind of stuck on there and being able to use them as I'm painting, because they get kind of stuck and then mold, whatever you want to call it, into the next flower. And I like how some of the shades of like the purples and the yellows, the golds, the oranges, I like how it all kind of plays off of each other and comes into it. So it makes me happy. And it's just kind of like, I started painting with Owen, for Owen, to work on his fine motor skills. One of my other friends had told me that I should start painting, and painting was never one of those things that I did. I, in fact, steered clear of painting because I could not paint perfect paintings. I have it's hard to see, but I have a tiny shiver, and it's constant. And so when I would paint, I can't really draw straight lines or get anything. Like when I do left and right, I have what's called hemihypertrophy, and my right side is larger than my left side. It's kind of hard to see like that, but you can see that my fingers are longer, a little bit bigger and everything. And it's all the way down, like my whole right side. It's more pronounced like in my belly and my leg, but I have several, like I have thyroid condition, which has nothing to do with the hemihypertrophy, and that gives me this little tiny shake. And I'm sure there's other reasons I have the, as I like to call them, hippie shakes, but it is part of why I never wanted to paint, was because I was always, I'll go ahead and use the word intimidated by those people that has just this natural talent of being able to make things come alive so easily, or what to me seemed so easily. And I wasn't that painter. I wasn't that person. I couldn't, like, I have so many other crafts I do and love, but painting was just not something that came natural to me at all. But when my friend encouraged me to paint, I said, okay, let's try this. And I've been painting every day for years and years and years with Owen. Well, with him every few days, and then me pretty much every day for years now. And it has done more for me than I know it will ever have done for him, because it is one more way for me to be able to share our journey. And I know that every perfectly imperfect painting that I have sitting in front of me was made with my son, and that's the part that means so much to me, is the fact that he is truly a part of this journey. And knowing, like I said, that I'm sharing our story through our art and through these moments, that's what means so much to me. So just looking at everything that's happened in our lives and knowing that it's all okay, God's walking through this journey with us, and I feel it, I see it, I know it, and that's the important part of it. So, you know, just one more part of something that makes my heart happy. Trying to figure out if I want to. Sometimes when I do these, I put too many flowers in, and sometimes that, like, kind of, then it's really, like, tucked in there. And so I don't think I'm gonna fill it all this time. I think I'm going to make it a little bit lighter with the flowers, but just fill in some areas that need the extra thought to it, if that makes sense. So, oh, I got a sneeze that wants to come, but it's not ready. So, when I did those colors, it reminded me of FSU, Florida State University, and all the things that went down. Honestly, I can't even, I'm bringing it up, but I really can't even, it breaks my heart to think about all of the things that happened there to the people, and what went on. So it's hard, but that makes me, I lost a few people, and just sad. Okay, so we can't be sad. I mean, we're already sad, but I can't cry any more than I've been crying. So I feel like this is like, I need a color over here, but I don't want to do anything over here, if that makes sense. I feel like I need, I'm gonna just see what happens there. Just felt like it needed something, even though that probably isn't what it really needed. But so we're just gonna do a few little more of these, and I think that's not really what I wanted there. Okay, I have too much red on my, it'll be okay. I was trying to do like, but I don't want to get too much. Okay, I think we are done. So Owen has been thinking a lot about, he had a hard day yesterday. Well, and I probably even had a harder day than he did, because he was very emotional while he was at his therapy, and then I was very emotional after his therapy because he was still screaming at me. But today he's kind of worked through a lot of those emotions, so I'm hoping that it's a little clearer for him, and he can kind of step back from some of it. So I pray for that, and I pray he sleeps tonight, because he's been getting up so early. So okay, I think I'm gonna let it be where it is. So I sign O for Owen, and then L and B. There we go. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.